When it comes to women, what do you think commands respect? Looks, money, status? You'd be right if you said all three, but there's something more important that most men overlook. In today's video, we'll go over 5 boundaries that make women respect you more. So write these down and practice them. You'll see your respect level rise, along with your game. And remember, a woman only respects a man who respects himself. This means you don't expose your soul to every woman you meet. You hold back a part of yourself, a part you reserve for when she proves herself worthy. You don't give away your best material to everyone. Instead, you save it for when she asks, what makes you different from the rest? Then you show her the quality of your character, your experiences, your scars, and why they made you who you are. This is a rarity because most guys present everything immediately. They tell their whole life story to anyone who'll listen. This is called transparency, and it's a huge mistake. If you want to increase respect, do the opposite. Be mysterious. This will create tension, and she'll have to work to earn your trust and affection. This might sound complicated, but it's simple. Just follow this rule. Never give away too much of yourself. If she wants to know more, she has to earn it. No. 2. You don't abandon your mission for attention. If a man knows not which port he sails to, no wind is favorable. Seneca. You don't rearrange your life for someone who hasn't earned that privilege. Not only does it show that you're busy and in demand, but it also communicates that she isn't worth derailing your life for. This is a sign of true confidence. A man like this is hard to get, so she'll respect him even more. You don't skip the gym, the work, or the craft to keep someone interested. You don't cancel plans to hang out with her, especially if it was made well in advance. If anything, you reschedule for another day. Why? Because you've got things to attend. Here's the reality. Women love the chase more than the catch, so don't make your world revolve around her. Instead, keep her in orbit. Why this commands respect? Women are drawn to men anchored in purpose. A man with a purpose doesn't need her. He doesn't lack anything. And if you put her above your mission, you lose both. She'll steal your peace, and you'll sacrifice your progress. That's why you can never rearrange your life for a woman. At least not until she's proven to be worth it. And that time may never come. No. 3. You don't share your life with chaos. No matter how beautiful or wealthy or famous a woman is, you don't share your life with chaos. You avoid women who are emotionally unstable, dramatic, or toxic. You don't play therapist. You're not a rehab center. Life is hard enough as it is. There's enough chaos in the world. Why add more by bringing a woman who brings nothing to the table except drama into your life? This goes against the nature of a man, but many men fall into this trap. Why? Because they're lonely. They hate being alone. They feel like they need a woman because all their friends have won. Listen, you don't bring a woman into your life just for the sake of having one. Your life must improve as a result of her entering it. Otherwise, what's the point? She'll only end up leaving anyway, and then you'll be left with nothing but regrets and baggage. Why this commands respect? It signals emotional maturity, and you won't be manipulated into staying where peace is absent. This is a rare trait. Most men would choose to live in hell with a woman rather than be alone. They'd endure abuse because it's better than solitude. I know you're not like them. Why this is important? It shows that you're selective. You won't accept just anyone. She has to be of high quality to enter your life. This is the kind of man women want. The one who's confident enough to walk away if she brings more chaos than peace. Number 4, you don't compete for her time or validation. You don't chase. You don't double text. You don't fight for a spot in her life. You don't send good morning texts unless she sends one first. You don't try to win her over with grand gestures or expensive gifts. You don't tolerate disrespect or bad behavior. You're not afraid to walk away. You're willing to let her go instead of begging for a second chance. You don't compete for her attention because you know your worth. You don't need her validation. You have your own inner compass guiding you. You're not like other guys desperate for attention. You offer presence, not performance. You don't buy her flowers because you think it'll make her like you more. You take her somewhere nice, showing her a good time because you can afford it, not because you expect anything in return. Why this commands respect? Because you're scarce, your time is valuable. You're not always available. You're not at her beck and call. You have things to attend to. You have your own life to live. You're not going to stop everything you're doing just to spend time with her. This is the kind of man women respect. He's confident, independent, and sure of himself. He doesn't need anyone's approval. He He's not afraid to walk away if things don't work out. He knows that if she doesn't want him, there are plenty of other fish in the sea. There are some qualities you refuse to compromise on, certain standards you will not lower, and that's okay. If she doesn't measure up, you move on. You don't settle for less than you deserve because you know your worth. You're not afraid to walk away if things don't work out. This is the kind of man women want because it shows that you're secure in yourself. You don't need anyone's approval. You're not going to lower your standards just to make someone else happy. So remember, brothers, a woman only respects a man who respects himself. By following these 5 boundaries, you'll command more respect from the women you interact with. But don't forget, these rules are meant to be broken. If a relationship gets to the point where respect is no longer an issue, then it's time to break the rules. Follow these rules in the beginning, but once she's earned your trust and respect, then it's time to start bending them. But remember, the foundation of any great relationship is mutual respect. And if you want to learn more about how to become a man of respect and honor, stay tuned for more videos. These rules were taken from a larger guide called 30 Rules of Stoic Wisdom. Each rule comes with an explanation on why it works and examples of how to apply it in everyday life. It's the perfect guide for any man looking to improve himself and become the best version of himself. Click the link below to download the full guide for free. Now go and make me proud. They say all the best relationships are built on respect, but the truth is, women will never respect you unless you first respect yourself. Welcome back to our channel, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. No. 5. You don't abandon your standards to avoid being alone. Most men out there lax. They go after women, but they'll abandon their standards. They'll tolerate disrespectful behavior, cheating and unclear intentions, just so they won't be alone. These men would rather be in a bad relationship than be single. They'd rather endure half love than no love at all. And the problem is, women can sense their desperation from a mile away. So if you're tired of chasing women and you want them to chase you, then listen carefully. You must first learn how to respect yourself. And here's how you do it. You would rather walk alone in strength than walk with someone who drains your energy. Marcus Aurelius once said, "To live alone is better than to live wrongly accompanied." This statement might seem hard to understand, especially for those of us who have been hurt by past relationships. But it's actually quite simple. It means that you'd rather be alone than in a bad relationship. It means that you'd rather walk alone in strength than walk with someone who's holding you down. In fact, the ancient philosopher Epictetus, he said, "It's better to be alone than in bad company." Now imagine this situation. You're working hard to achieve your goals, but then you meet a woman who distracts you from what you're trying to accomplish. Maybe she takes your money and gives nothing in return, or maybe she makes fun of your ambitions and dreams. The choice is yours. You can either continue walking with her anyway, or you can part ways and keep moving forward alone. The truth is, the second option is always better because it allows you to remain true to your values instead of compromising them for the sake of companionship. Sure, you might feel lonely for a moment, but that's okay. Embrace the loneliness because it gives you the opportunity to reflect and refocus on your path. So why does this command respect? Because it shows that you're not afraid of being alone. You don't need anyone to complete you. You're already whole on your own. Also, she will notice that you're with her because you choose to be, not because you need to be. That alone will make her respect you more. Stoic reminder: boundaries are a form of love. Some people hate boundaries. They believe that boundaries are cold, but they're wrong. Actually, boundaries aren't cold. They are clarity. They invite the right kind of woman while silently repelling the wrong one. You see, when you set boundaries, you let the woman who respects you know where the line is so she can meet you with trust, not confusion. You are not responsible for fixing people. If she truly wants to be with you, she put in the effort to understand and respect your boundaries. Anything less, and she isn't worth your time. Setting boundaries also shows that you're confident and secure in yourself. You don't need to push people away because you're too afraid of abandonment or rejection. Instead, you welcome healthy connections because you value yourself enough to know what you deserve. That kind of confidence is magnetic, and women can't help but respect it. When you establish clear boundaries, you create a safe space for both yourself and the woman you're with. She can relax knowing that she can rely on you and that you'll be there for her when she needs you. That kind of stability is attractive and it fosters deep respect between two people. The bottom line is that setting boundaries isn't selfish it's an expression of self-love that invites the right people into your life. And that, my friend, is something worth respecting. You don't change your plans last minute. Life is full of unexpected turns. Sometimes plans change and priorities shift. But while other men will drop everything at the mere request of a woman, you don't. You don't cancel your prior commitments just to hang out with her. You don't reorganize your schedule for a date night if it disrupts your workflow. You don't jump at the chance to take her somewhere special if it compromises your deadlines. Instead, you're firm and resolute in sticking to your plans. You don't move mountains for her because you know what you want and you won't be swayed off course. To some, this might seem like a rigid and unbending attitude, but to the right woman, it's the epitome of respect. It shows that you're a man with purpose, someone who knows what he wants in life and won't compromise on his goals. You're not easily persuaded to stray from your path, even when faced with the allure of romance. That kind of steadfastness is admirable and it commands respect. You won't be controlled. There's a quote from the great philosopher Epicurus that goes, "Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do, and you will have a tranquil life." It's a reminder that life doesn't always go according to plan, and trying to force things our way often leads to unnecessary stress and unhappiness. You see, most men think that they can control everything, but they couldn't be more wrong. Life is full of variables and we can't predict or manage every outcome. Trying to do so only sets us up for disappointment and frustration. Instead, we should focus on what we can control: our thoughts, actions, and reactions. By concentrating our energy on these internal factors, we can navigate life's ups and downs with greater ease and resilience. Remember, it's not what happens to us, but how we react that truly matters. So stay calm, focus on what you can control, and embrace the journey. In the context of women, this means you won't be controlled by their opinions or actions. You're not a puppet dancing to their tune. You're a stoic man with free will, and you won't let anyone, not even a woman, dictate your moves. How many men do you know that are slaves to their girlfriends? How many men do you know that do whatever their girlfriend asks, whether it's right or wrong? Pathetic. You don't fear losing a woman, so you won't be controlled by their opinions or actions. You stand firm in your beliefs and principles, and you're not afraid to voice them, even if it might upset her. You know that being honest and true to yourself is more important than pleasing her or anyone else, and she respects you for that. She sees that you're not just another guy who will do whatever it takes to win her over. You're a man with depth, conviction, and character. That kind of man is rare and valuable, and she's lucky to have you. You have high expectations. As a stoic man, you don't settle for mediocrity. You have high expectations, not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. You expect the best from your friends, colleagues, and yes, even from women. Now, you might think that having high expectations is a good thing, and you're right, but it can also be dangerous. After all, the higher the expectations, the greater the potential for disappointment. However, as a Stoic, you're not afraid of high expectations. You see them as a challenge, an opportunity to prove yourself and those who believe in you. You know that mediocrity is the enemy of greatness, and you're not willing to settle for anything less than the best. You expect excellence from yourself, and you demand it from those you associate with. For instance, if you're planning to start a business, you don't lower your standards just because the competition seems weak. You aim to build a company that sets new benchmarks in the industry. If your friends constantly let you down, you don't stick with them out of fear of losing them. Instead, you surround yourself with people who inspire you to be a better version of yourself. And this approach applies to women as well. You don't lower your expectations just because you like a particular woman. You hold them to the same standards as everyone else. And if they can't meet those standards, you let them go. You're hard to push off sender. We live in a world where emotions run wild. People lash out, throw tantrums, and get offended easily. But as a Stoic, you're different. You don't let others push you off center. You're calm and collected, even when faced with adversity. You maintain your composure because you know that reacting emotionally only makes things worse. You've read books like Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, and you follow his advice. You know that anger and resentment are destructive forces that can consume you if you let them. So instead of dwelling on negative emotions, you focus on what you can control, your thoughts and actions. You choose to respond rather than react. You assess the situation calmly and objectively, and then take the appropriate action. You're not easily swayed by others' opinions or actions. You know who you are, and you're confident in your beliefs and values. And that kind of inner strength and resilience is something worth respecting. In fact, The more a man enforces his boundaries without anger, the more powerful he becomes. He becomes a calm center in a storm, an oasis of peace in a chaotic world. The truth is that women dig it. They want a man who's grounded and steady, not easily shaken by external forces. It's precisely this quality that makes him rare and valuable, a diamond in the rough, and she's lucky to have him. That concludes our list of 5 boundaries that make women respect you more. As we end this video, remember the words of the great philosopher Marcus Aurelius: "He who has overcome his own small self is the greatest king of all." By embracing these 5 boundaries, you'll not only command respect from women, but also from everyone else in your life. Stay true to yourself, govern your emotions, and be unapologetically you. Before you go, we've got a question for you. What boundary has been the most powerful in your life? Let us know in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos that help you become the best version of yourself. As always, thanks for watching. And remember, you are just a few scrolls away from greatness. If you enjoyed this video, check out our latest video on 7 things that make a man truly strong. Welcome to the channel. A man without boundaries is a man who will be broken by anything. A man with them is hard to break. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations that the key to living well is setting boundaries. A man is disturbed not by things but by his opinion of them, he said. This is why the truly brave live life on their own terms, unmoved by the approval or disapproval of others. They know that they cannot please everyone, so they pick and choose what is important to them and relentlessly pursue it. They set boundaries because they value themselves enough to protect their time and energy, and nothing commands more quiet respect than the man who knows where his lines are drawn. If you want a woman to love you, give her attention. If you want her to respect you, have boundaries. A Stoic is a man who can lose everything except for his character and virtue. He keeps himself in check, even when nobody is looking. This is why no matter how much we might crave female attention, the Stoic knows that chasing every skirt that catches his eye is a distraction from his purpose. He won't do it. Instead, he remains resolute and sticks to his path, knowing that if he does this consistently enough, his character will shine through and attract the right kind of people. But some guys make the opposite mistake. They confuse being agreeable with being admirable. They chase after every woman they find attractive without thinking about whether or not she's right for him. But the Stoics understood long ago that agreeing to everything and everyone was a surefire way to end up alone. This is why Seneca said, "It is better to be alone than in bad company." Being alone allows you to focus on what really matters, whereas bad company leads to distractions and squandering your potential. As a Stoic, you should be willing to walk away from anyone or anything that isn't contributing to your growth and development as a man. This includes relationships that have become toxic or once. In modern times, many men struggle with this idea of letting go, because they feel like they need to hold on to everything and everyone just in case. But the Stoic knows better than to waste his energy on fear and uncertainty. So now let us discuss 5 boundaries that will earn you the respect of any woman. No, you don't entertain disrespect, even subtly. Disrespect comes in many forms. Sometimes it's overt and obvious, and sometimes it's hidden under layers of politeness. Either way, it's essential to recognize it and address it. For example, a common form of disrespect is when someone uses sarcasm as a way to hide their true feelings. They might say something seemingly funny to deflect from an uncomfortable situation or to put another person down. But a Stoic understands that behind that so-called joke lies a lack of confidence and a desire to cause harm. This is why they don't tolerate sarcasm, no matter how cleverly disguised it may seem. Another form of disrespect is passive aggression. When someone is too cowardly to speak their mind, they often resort to passive-aggressive behavior as a way to express their frustration. They might say something snarky or sarcastic in a group setting to embarrass you, or spread rumors about you behind your back. But a Stoic recognizes this behavior for what it is, a lack of courage and integrity. They don't tolerate it because it undermines trust and breeds negativity. Emotional manipulation is yet another form of disrespect. When someone tries to use your emotions against you to get their way, they are essentially trying to control you. They might guilt trip you, play the victim, or resort to tantrums and fits to get what they want. But a Stoic sees through these tactics and refuses to be manipulated. They understand that giving in to emotional manipulation only encourages the other person to continue their harmful behavior. Many men will let disrespect slide to keep the peace or avoid conflict, but this only sends a message that you're weak and that they can treat you however they want. A man who calmly rejects disrespect, however, shows that he respects himself and that he won't be taken advantage of. This sets the tone for how others should treat you, and it shows that you won't be a doormat for anyone. The Stoics knew that respecting yourself was the first step to gaining the respect of others. By refusing to tolerate disrespect in any form, you demonstrate your self-respect and set the tone for how others should treat you. It might not always be easy, but as Seneca said, no one can harm you unless you let them. Being a Stoic means taking responsibility for your actions and not making excuses. It also means learning from your mistakes and not repeating them. However, there are some people who will try to take advantage of your forgiveness and second chances. They will try to excuse their bad behavior or blame it on external factors beyond their control. They might say things like, "I can't help it, I'm just the type of person who," or "I'm sorry, but my circumstances force me to." But a Stoic doesn't buy into these excuses. He understands that people are responsible for their own actions and that blaming external factors is when someone asks for a second chance, you have to decide whether to give it to them or not. There's no easy answer, but you shouldn't be afraid to say no. If you feel like someone has taken advantage of you, don't let them do it again. You can't control other people, but you can control your reactions and responses to them. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." There's a saying that you shouldn't argue with idiots, because they'll drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. This advice holds true in many situations, especially when dealing with women. Arguing with an idiot is like trying to explain the concept of gravity to a brick. No matter how hard you try, they just don't get it. And the more effort you put in, the more frustrated you become. The Stoics believed in maintaining inner peace and tranquility, which meant avoiding unnecessary arguments and debates. They knew that engaging in arguments with idiots would only disturb their peace and distract them from their purpose. Instead, they focused on living in accordance with nature and pursuing virtue and wisdom. They also understood that arguing with idiots was pointless, because it was impossible to change their minds. As Epicurus said, "It's impossible to teach an ass to dance, so why waste your time and energy trying to convince an idiot otherwise?" Don't feed the trolls or argue with those who are deliberately trying to provoke you. Your time is valuable, and you shouldn't waste it trying to convince someone who is willfully ignorant. Instead, rise above the idiocy and engage in conversations with people who are intelligent and open-minded. One of the most important things that you can do if you want to command the respect of others is to have a purpose. Having a purpose gives you direction and motivation in life. Without it, you're likely to drift aimlessly and wind up feeling unsatisfied and unfulfilled. A Stoic is a man with a plan, a man who knows what he wants to achieve and is actively working towards it. They are goal-oriented individuals who take initiative and don't wait for things to happen. If you want to command the respect of others, especially women, having a purpose is essential. It shows that you're serious about your life and that you're not easily deterred by obstacles. It also demonstrates that you have confidence in your abilities and that you believe in your ability to achieve your goals. When you have a sense of purpose, you're less likely to be swayed by the opinions of others and more likely to stay true to your values and beliefs. This is something that all successful people have in common, and it's something that you can develop through conscious effort and determination. So if you want to be respected by others, start by having a purpose in life. This one is crucial because settling is the quickest way to lose respect. Women are attracted to men who are confident and secure in their self. Settling for something less than you deserve conveys a lack of self-respect and makes women see you as less than desirable. It also makes you appear indecisive and lacking in ambition. For example, let's say you're dating a woman who isn't treating you very well. She might take you for granted, ignore you, or even cheat on you, yet you still feel compelled to stay in the relationship. Why? Perhaps you're afraid of being alone or think you don't deserve someone better. But this mindset is exactly what's holding you back from finding the love and respect you deserve. Seneca said, "He who is good enough for your acceptance must not be allowed to come below your respect." Apply this principle to all areas of your life, whether it's your career, finances, or personal relationships. Don't settle for a job that pays you less than your worth, or a financial situation that keeps you stressed and anxious. Aim higher and strive for excellence in all you do. When you refuse to settle for less, you communicate that you value yourself and expect others to treat you accordingly. So brothers, These are just a few examples of the boundaries that every man should have. If you want to be respected by women, you must first respect yourself. Set clear boundaries, stick to your values, and never, ever settle for less than you deserve. By doing so, you'll not only earn the respect of others, but also live a life that's true to yourself. Now go out there and become the best version of yourself. And as a bonus, here's one more thing that you must keep in mind. It's the little things that separate the boys from the men. So remember that a man is known by the little things he does. Pay attention to detail in everything you do, from the way you dress to the way you speak. Your appearance and demeanor should convey respect and confidence. And don't forget your manners. Be polite and courteous to everyone you interact with, but don't overdo it. Being overly fake and insincere will only make you appear as though you are trying too hard. Strike a balance between being respectful and being authentic. By following these tips, you'll be well on your way to earning the respect of everyone around you. And remember, it's the little things that make a big difference.